Presentation will be about Democrats and Republicans. Okay. The Democratic Party. The Democratic Party color is blue. Their symbol is a donkey. How they got the symbol of a donkey is Andrew Jackson, the first Democratic president, was called a not-so-nice name for a donkey. And he decided to use the donkey on his campaign posters and to explain that he was strong-willed and he could do many things. Later, Thomas Nast, a political cartoonist, made a cartoon with a donkey titled the Democratic Donkey. The Democratic Party is the oldest political party in the U.S. It started in 1824. It is traditionally strong in California and Massachusetts. Their Senate leader is Harry Reid.
Did you know he's LDS?
I was just going to say the same thing. Yeah.
He is?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And he's a Democrat.
Yep.
There are some LDS people that are
I was gonna
Democrats.
say
I'm
that.
not sure how they do that, but
Yeah.
sorry, go
Get to
ahead.
choose. No?
The Republican Party. The Republican Party color is red. Their symbol is an elephant. How they got this symbol is they had this cartoon. So you can look at it closely. If you want to look at it closely, it's pretty cool.
Here, you can illustrate.
And here.
I don't need one. I've seen
Okay.
it. So thank you. I've got my hands full.
Thank you.
So
I've already seen that.
they had the Democratic donkey with a lion's coat on, scaring away all the zoo animals. And the elephant, you can barely read it, but it is titled the Republican vote.
I can see it.
That's how the Republican Party got the symbol of an elephant.
And when was this?
I don't know the exact date.
I think it was. What did you say the donkey was?
The Democratic donkey. It was after.
Did you say the year of the donkey though?
No.
18. Oh,
She said it was around Andrew Jackson, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah, so
okay.
I didn't know that. That's really cool.
The Republican Party started in 1854. It's traditionally strong in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. Their Senate leader is Mitch McConnell.
Just sit down.
Okay. This is the history of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party started with the Democratic Republicans. The Democratic Republicans Party started when Thomas Jefferson and James Madison were on a canoe trip. That's where and when they made the Democratic Republican Party. That changed into the Democrat Party. This is the history of the Republican Party. It started with the Federalist Party. The Federalist Party started when the Constitution was made. People who agreed with the Constitution were called Federalists. The people who did not agree with the Constitution were called Anti-Federalists. The Federalist Party changed into the National Republican Party, and that changed into the Whig Party, and that changed into the Republican Party. These are a few issues that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party generally agree and disagree with. The blue check stands for the Democratic Party because their color is blue, and the red check stands for the Republican Party because their color is red. The Democratic Party generally supports gay marriage, abortion, and raising minimum wages. The Republican Party generally supports death penalties, spending more on military, and the right to carry concealed weapons.
That's a really cool chart.
That's cool.
Good job.
Grace, please.
This is a list
Sit
of
down, babe.
famous Democratic presidents. Andrew Jackson, Franklin D. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Jimmy Carter, and Barack Obama.
Grace.
I love the way you have it organized. It's very
That's
cool.
great.
Grace, come here.
This is a list of famous Republican presidents. Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and George W. Bush. And George Washington was a Federalist. I just wanted to add that because he was our first president. And there are more famous Democratic presidents, but there are more Republican presidents, but not as many that are famous. Does anybody have any questions?
You did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I do too.
I love
Can
how
you
organized it.
think of any other issues besides what you wrote on here about Democratic and the Republicans, what they differ on, or are there any others that you can think of?
Well, can't really think of some right off the bat, but there are some websites if you just Google Democrats versus Republicans or
Well, you saw some things. You saw a lot of. You put most of the issues you saw up in there, but what were their philosophies? Do you remember that? What you read?
Their philosophies were different because Republicans, they want to have more of a independent, but the government, like a smaller government, and they only come in specific problems. And Democrats want a more bigger government and not to have as much agency. I guess that's how you could say it.
Okay. More control.
Yeah, more
Yes.
control of government.
What about, can I ask one more question? What about illegal immigrants? Do you know how each of the parties agree or disagree on that?
I think I'm not sure.
Do you know anything about that?
We didn't read much about that on the
Okay.
websites we were on.
Okay.
I think that's more of a current one, and we weren't necessarily on current.
Okay.
David? Do you know if those are the famous? Of what?
You mean, do you know if any are more famous?